Morning everyone. How's everyone doing? We're roadside at the moment, a bit dangerous down here at Pony Dick, but look what's been put on the road this morning. Belting. Pemberton Road, voted Britain's friendliest street 2020. And there you go, there's the Wigan crest. That's class, isn't it? Nobody else, no other street in Britain's got that. So yeah, we're on a journey to the centre of the universe. Sorry, Winstanley today. We're just outside the entrance to Winstanley Park. We're just going to nip in, just to get away from the road noise for a moment. Nip into the opposite side, just so you can hear me a little bit better. But it's a little bit cold this afternoon compared to what it has been. It's around about 13 degrees today, so a little bit nippier than what we've been used to over the past few weeks. But so you know where I am. We're at Pony Dick and we're looking for the centre of Winstanley, the exact centre. So I started looking into this a few days ago, and I found out some interesting stuff. Not just about centroids, which is what it's called, but different ways of calculating the centre of an area, the centre of an irregular shape. And this, believe it or not, hang on, that way around for you guys, that is the shape of Winstanley. So there you go. So I'm going to flip this on the floor and explain a few things, so you know what we're looking into today. So I did ask for some chalk off one of our members, Juliet, but she didn't have any. So if this is the shape of Winstanley, we'll just kind of go through the different areas. So this top bit here is the junction of the M6 at Orrell. So that's where the very top part of Winstanley goes to, and then it cuts down and follows the railway line all the way across the top to Pemberton Station, and from Pemberton Station it comes down Little Lane, cuts through the back end of Goose Green, following the line of the A49 or Warrington Road. This is the slip road onto the M6 at Marris Bridge, and then from the slip road it then starts coming up this side, and then we are looking at kind of Winstanley Park area on the left hand side there. So that's the shape of Winstanley, and as you can see I've drawn a dot on there, but there's a couple of ways to calculate this, and we're going to look at all three. So the first way of calculating it is to draw a square around the whole shape, and that would be the squared centre of Winstanley. So that's what we're going to go to first. So the squared area is drawing a straight line across here, straight line down, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, and that will be the squared centre. So we'll go and find that in a second. The other centre is the circular centre, and to do that we draw our biggest circle that we can that touches all sides of the shape. So the biggest circle that we can draw inside here, and that is the circular centre. And then the true centre, what we would say would be the how do we call it? The geometric centre is calculated using, and it's also the centre of mass. So if we were to balance Winstanley on a pin, it wouldn't tip; it would stay kind of level. So to measure that, essentially you have to use a plumb line. And we balance the shape out 2 or 3 times, get some intersecting points, and that will be the centre. So that's the true geographical centre of Winstanley. So that's the shape. We're going to head up now to our first location, which will be the squared centre. So that's drawing a square around the centre of Winstanley, and the central point of that square is the squared centre of the area. So I thought this might be a little bit different, a bit interesting. If you've got any kids, if you want them to get involved, they can draw this shape. In fact, I'll upload this later and you can download it and they can work it out for themselves and then overlay that onto a computer screen using a bit of paper, and you'll be able to find the exact centre of Winstanley. So we're going to head up Pemberton Road now. Nice little sign there on the sidewalk. So we'll just do a few shout outs. Who have we got today? So Lisa Brown's watching. How you doing, Lisa? Say hello to you. James, awesome sign. Absolutely, man. Claire Halliwell. Good afternoon. Afternoon, Pete. Patricia, Pete. Claire Halliwell, brilliant. Lisa Brown, looking good. Phil Turner, good afternoon. Chris, watching from my desk. Still busy working, pal. Well done. Emma Davis is watching. How you doing? Lisa, Liz, Marie's watching. Hello. Laura, Mr. Gregory. How you doing, pal? So if you have just tuned in, we are going to the centre of Winstanley. That's the centre. That's the shape of Winstanley. Top left is the Oral interchange at the junction. The very top of the shape is the railway line going to the top right, which is Pemberton Station, and at the bottom there is, I mean, it's the worst cut-out shape ever, I know that, but the bottom is Marris Bridge, M6 junction there. So we're currently going up Paris Avenue, and if you do see me out and about, feel free to give us a wave. But the weather's completely changed there. Look at that cloud up there. Behind there is supposed to be some sun. We might have Juliet in the street, and Max, little Max. Waving over there. So yeah, we've got a little bit of a mission on our hands now. So if you have just joined us, we've traced out the map to Winstanley, calculated 3 different centres. One is the squared centre, one is the circled centre, and one is the geographical centre, which is also the centre of mass. Which means if we were to take Winstanley and stick it on a pin, it wouldn't fall over, it would just stay stable. So any guesses to any of these places where we might be? It's a lot closer to home than I thought it would be. But if you've got any guesses, feel free to send them in. Noisy that, wasn't it? Good afternoon, Ashley. Good afternoon, Paul. Good afternoon, Thomas. Working from home today, Lisa. Very good. Nice of you to tune in while you're working at home there. You're not missing much by being inside, by the way. I'm actually quite cold today. My hands are a bit warm. So when we get to, we'll go to the squared centre first. I will repeat myself several times for those who have just tuned in, but it's a journey to the centre of Winstanley, trying to find the exact middle point of the area. We've got our homemade cutout map, which I didn't use to do the calculations, but I used it basically as a reference for you guys to carry around with me. The one that I did use was far too big to wave it in front of the camera. Oh, it's a bit windy too. Let's get in the woods for a minute. So of course we've got a couple of central locations, hubs if you like, of Winstanley. One of those being Winstanley Shops and the Poacher. I suppose you could call that the one of the centres, if you like, of Winstanley. So we're just coming out to the Poacher now. And on our way up to on Tanhouse Drive. A big shout out to our team that we had yesterday, because it was a team effort. Everybody who came down to do the litter pick, the walk and pick, our first one, a huge success in my book. We managed to collect 20 bags worth of rubbish and litter. Some of it had been there for years. Some people were really good. Digging deep, getting stuff out the ground that had been buried. James was in with his wellies on in the Smithy Brook, pulling all kinds of stuff out. He found a DVD player, an old tyre, a wheelbarrow wheel. Found all kinds. We dropped it off at St Aidan's in the blue bags, and to the best of my knowledge they've all been collected now, so that's good. So it looks like a few more people have just joined us, so we'll just remind everybody we're on a journey to the centre of Winstanley. We're trying to find the exact centre, and we're going to visit 3 different versions of a centre now. So that's the map of Winstanley. I'll just put that on the floor again for a second. So if we were to draw a square around this, touching all corners of it, an exact square, then we'd have a squared centre. If we were to draw a circle in the centre of this, touching as many sides as we can with that circle, then that would be the circular centre. And then the geographic centre, the actual centre, is done using a plumb line, and that will give us not just the geographical centre, but its centre of mass, centre of gravity. And we'll be finding that one out at the end of the live stream. So we're on our way to the first centre, which is the squared centre. Drawing a square around the map, find the middle of the square by dividing it into 4, and that gives you your squared centre of the shape. Good afternoon, Dot, thanks for joining us. Hope you're okay. So just as another reference, we've got, just to give you an idea where the places are on the map, the top left is Orrell Interchange, the bottom point at the very bottom there is the M6 junction coming from Maris Bridge, the slip road, and we've taken our measurements from the central reservation, if you like, of the M6, as well as the centre of the railway line. The railway line's the top bit there at Pemberton. Top right is Pemberton Station, and that pointy bit there just at the top. So, as I said earlier on, the first centre is the squared centre of the map, and we're almost there. Okay, just turn the camera around a bit. Right, can you see where those pigeons are? Right in the middle of the screen. Where that big fat one is there at the front, that is the squared centre of Winstanley, right at the back of Winstanley Primary School. So once again, if we were to draw a square around this object, keeping it on a north to south plane, and we found the centre of that square by dividing it into 4, that will be the middle. So that's where the pigeons are, just there. We can't go into the school field because it's school time, but where that big fat pigeon is in the middle, that's the centre of Winstanley, if we were looking at the squared centre. Okay. So that's not the geographical centre, that's not the exact centre, but that's the squared one. So there's 2 more to find. The next one is the circular centre. And once again, the circular centre, if we were to draw a circle inside of this shape, the biggest circle possible, we would find the circular centre. So just again, where that bush is there, that tall one, it's a bush / tree. Just behind the garden there at the back, where the pigeons are, that's the exact squared centre. Okay? Right, next one, circular centre. I was surprised at how close this actually was, because they are 2 different things, but depending where you live and what your map looks like, your circular centre can be anywhere on the map, really. If you live in a long, thin type of area, you could be miles away from the squared centre. But we're off to go, and the beauty of this one is I can actually stand on it, so that's okay. Over, go and see the BT man. It's myself and a broadband. Good afternoon, Shirley. Good afternoon, Kylie. How you doing? Right, okay, so again, I'm repeating myself quite a lot, but it's just for those who have just tuned in. We've just been to the squared centre of Winstanley, drawn a square around the shape and found the exact centre of that. We're now going to the circular centre, which is, if we were to draw a circle inside there, the biggest circle we can possibly make, and we found it. Here, just there. That is the circular centre of Winstanley. Right on that curbstone. And we've got a little cat coming across to say hello. Hello. But that still isn't the exact centre. The geographical point, which there's a central point of Wigan, there's a central point of the whole of Great Britain, there's a central point of Scotland, England, Wales. They all have central points. I've been to the centre of Scotland actually. They've stood on the rock there. So that's Cadogan Drive, and that is the circular centre of Winstanley. So we're on our way now to the geographical centre. So this is what you would term the official middle of Winstanley. And as I said earlier on, if we were to pick Winstanley up and try and balance it on a pin, this is where it would balance. Hiya. So where can it be? Is it in your street? Is it somebody you know? Is it in their street? The funny thing is, I bet the person who lives there doesn't even know. So it is in a street somewhere. So we've just gone down Chiltern Drive, which is off Tanhouse Drive. NHS flag up there. It's the rainbow on it saying thank you NHS. Nice to see. So we're going left at the bottom of Chiltern Drive. Some lovely gardens up here. Some wildflowers and things like that. Roses. Just going past Quantock Close. If you have joined this a couple of minutes afterwards or more, make sure you rewind to the very beginning and see the latest street sign in Winstanley. So if you tap on the screen, you can actually rewind this live stream and go back to the very beginning. And as I said, you'll see the newest street sign in Winstanley, which is down at Pony Dick, which says Pemberton Road voted Britain's Friendliest Street 2020 on it, which I thought was a really nice touch from the local council to do that so fast. So well done to them, and well done to the residents of Pemberton Road and everybody who voted for them. Super. Right, where am I? Okay, so we're in Pennine Avenue now, just coming up. So down there, it's Holmes House Avenue at the very bottom. We've just walked up Cleveland Avenue. We're now on Pennine, on the hunt for the geographical centre of Winstanley. So we've now come to Cambion Crescent. You can see that there. So behind the wall over there is the black path taking you past Winstanley Primary School. And here, right in the driveway, is the centre of Winstanley, the geographical point, just there, on the edge of the curb. So I think we should have some kind of plaque, I don't know, a monument. I don't think he'd like that in his garden, but as a place of significance, maybe that's what we should do. We might have to put it maybe on the wall over here or something, but it's close enough. But yeah, that's the geographical centre of Winstanley. So there you go, that's our walk for today. Hope you enjoyed that one. We've been to the squared centre, the circular centre and the geographical centre of Winstanley. There's the map. I'll be posting that if you wanted to print it out and give it to the kids, and we'll show you how to calculate it. But from the very, very epicentre of Winstanley, we will see you again soon.